PPR pipe is a straight and rigid cylindrical pipe made from polypropylene random copolymer plastics produced through a continuous extrusion processes. So, how to install PPR pipes water lines? First, press the PPR pieces straight into their respective sockets. Second, push pipe into the female socket until you reach the depth marking you put on it. Third, push the fitting into the female socket until it touches the ridge or the line marked on the socket. So for clearer understanding, let's watch this video.
Installation steps of PPR pipe and fittings. Check the operating welding machine and the temperature should be up to 260 centigrades. Mark PPR pipe the access depth before welding. 25 mm depth is about 1.5 centimeters. Parallel the pipe and fitting to the welding head for 4 seconds duration. Pulling out the pipe and fittings after fully heated and keeping a good time after the join. After the temperature is good, the pipe is tightly coupled with the fitting. To see the fusing effect, we use scissors to cut and the joints are seamless. In the project, the pipe and fitting are installed. With a tester press, tester pressure 48 hours with leakage can be used normally. Advantages of PPR pipe and fittings. 1. Good flexibility. PPR pipes are less prone to deformation, nor broken, greatly reduce the amount of joint use. 2. Corrosion resistant. Waterproof, and PPR pipes and fittings are resistant to chemicals and water erosion. 3. High temperature, high pressure, PPR pipes and fittings. Water under pressure at ambient temperature for 45 kilograms per square meters pipe deformation temperature of 112 degrees. 4. Have long performance life, PPR pipes and fittings. Normal operating service life of 50 years. 5. Simple maintenance. PPR pipe good flexibility allows quick and easy connection, safe and reliable.
Galvanized iron pipes or GI pipes are pipes that have been coated with a layer of zinc to prevent rusting and increase its durability and lifespan. How to install GI pipe water lines? Step 1. Cut. Galvanized is installed in much the same way as black iron pipe. Step 2. Debar. Once it is cut to length, debar the interior of the pipes to remove the sharp ridge caused by cutting processes. Step 3. Fitting. Step 4. Hanging the pipe. Step 5. Joining with copper. So for clearer understanding, let's watch this video.
Hello everyone, I'm Joshua Clement and today I'm going to talk to you about how to install galvanized pipe. Now a lot of times galvanized pipe is used in your older home, so this will be mainly for repair purpose. For this job you will need your galvanized pipe that has been threaded on both ends, elbows, adapters from 3/4 to a 1/2 inch, a pipe wrench, and thread compound. So most commonly, the pipe running into your house will be a 3/4 of an inch. You want to carry that as far as possible and then break off of your 3/4 inch using an elbow and an adapter and going up to a toilet or a bathtub and applying your 1/2 inch and running your 1/2 inch straight up to the faucet. To put these together, you're going to take pipe compound and put it on every thread, every joint. So you'll take it and you'll smear it in here. like that. And then you'll take the piece you're putting it into and tighten it up. What this is doing is it's sealing all the threads with the compound, and it's also going to keep the pipe from backing out. So after you get it hand tight, you'll take your pipe wrench and just snug it up. And you want to leave the joint compound on the top of your joint. That way that can harden there and keep any water from coming out of your joints. So with the next piece, you'll do the same thing. You'll put your thread compound on there and put it into place. After you get it hand tight, grab your wrench and tighten it up. You'll do that throughout the entire line. Galvanized plumbing is rather expensive. It's not as cheap as CPVC or even PEX, but it does allow you to go into those older homes and just repair the plumbing that is already existing in the home. Thank you all for watching, and good luck with this project.
A fire sprinkler system is an active fire protection method consisting of water supply system providing adequate pressure and flow rate to a water distribution piping system into which fire sprinklers are connected. How to install fire protection system sprinkler? First, check water pressure. Second, install system in basement. Third, conceal piping in wall. Number 4, run pipes upstairs. Number 5, install sprinkler heads. And lastly, number 6, insulate patch drywall and test for leaks. So for clearer understanding, let's watch this video. Sprinkler system is an irrigation system which uses less water and it thus an efficient method of introducing water to the fields. How to install PPR sprinkler system? Step 1, in ground sprinkler overview. Step 2, dig the trench. Step 3, make the water connection. So step 4, install the zone valves. Step 5, place the pipes in the trench. Step 6, connect the pipes at the valve box. Step 7, install the pop-up sprinklers. Step 8, roll out the irrigations. Step 9, install the ground stakes. And step 10, connect the time wires. So for clearer understanding, let's watch this video.
And welcome back to another episode of Homeschool. For today's project, I'm going to show you how to install a basic sprinkler system for your yard. I'm currently tackling a backyard overhaul project, and as part of it, I need to install a few new irrigation zones. I installed this small succulent garden a few years ago, and while it doesn't require a ton of water, with the heat of the summer, I still have to water it occasionally, and I'm sick of pulling out the hose every time. So today I'm going to show you how I plan to install a sprinkler system for it and some nearby plants. I rate these projects by how many F-bombs you're likely to drop while tackling the project. This one is not too fucking difficult, but it can take a while depending on the size of the area that you're installing. Step 1 is to locate a nearby water supply and lay out the irrigation line. In this case, I have an unused spigot behind my old shed, and I plan to tap into it to use it as the source for this line. To determine how many sprinklers I can have on this line, I have to do some basic calculations on flow rate and water pressure for the house. The easiest way to test the water pressure is to use a water pressure testing gauge like this one and attach it to a spigot. In this case, the water pressure is just shy of 60 psi. Next, to determine the flow rate, I use a 5-gallon bucket and turn the water on fully to see how long it takes to fill the bucket. Multiply the size of the bucket in gallons, which is 5 times 60 seconds, then divide that number by the number of seconds it took to fill. In this case, it's around 20 seconds. So the flow rate is about 15 gallons per minute. Once you have that number, it can help you determine how many sprinkler heads you can have on a zone, or how many zones that you need. In this case, I'll be installing these pop-up Rainbird 1800 series sprinklers and a couple dedicated drip lines. You can check the flow rate of your chosen sprinkler types and what their coverage is on the manufacturer's website. I only need about 6 sprinklers total for this zone, and each head has a flow rate of less than 1 gallon per minute. So I have plenty of pressure and flow rate for the needed coverage. Depending on your layout, you'll likely need to buy a combination of different pieces, fittings, and unions. I recommend that you buy more than you need and return the unused stuff. Once all your stupid math is out of the way, it's time for some good old manual labor. You'll have to dig a trench to bury the sprinkler line. Depending on the size of the area that you're working in and the type of soil that you have, that can either be easy or a huge pain in the ass. In most cases for irrigation lines, anywhere from 8 to 12 inches deep is sufficient to bury your pipes. However, if you live in an area that freezes, make sure you plan to drain your lines at the end of the season so they don't freeze and rupture during the winter. Once you have the digging out of the way, you can start laying out your piping and sprinkler heads. Now there are a lot of different products out there that you can use, but I typically just use Schedule 40 PVC pipe because I find it easy to work with. In this case, I'm using 3/4 inch diameter Schedule 40. I just work my way around laying out the pipe. Whenever I reach an area where I want a sprinkler head, I use one of these 3/4 inch T-joints with a 1/2 inch threaded outlet where I will screw in a threaded riser for the sprinkler head. At each joint, I use purple PVC primer and cement, making sure to prime each piece and then apply plenty of cement to hold each joint together so they're watertight. Once I've laid out and installed all the sprinkler heads, it's time to connect the line to the water supply. You have a bunch of different options for different types of zone valves here, but they all basically do the same thing. They allow the water to kick on either manually when you activate the valve or on a timer if you have it connected to an irrigation system. Some, like the one I installed here, run off solar power and operate on their own. These are called anti-siphon zone valves, and they allow the water to flow out to the sprinkler lines but not backflow and contaminate your drinking water. To install them, you install your sprinkler line to the outlet side of the valve and connect the inlet side to your water supply line. You can add as many zones as needed based on your flow rate and water pressure. You can even add an isolation valve like this one, which allows you to shut off the water to the irrigation lines without shutting off the main water supply to the house. Once everything is connected and you've let the PVC cement cure for at least 30 minutes, you can turn on the water and check the pipes for leaks. Once you've made sure the pipes don't leak, turn on your zone valve and sit back and watch your plants get watered. Then you can just backfill in your trench, and that is it. You are done with this project.